World's top 12 most beautiful palaces. Number 1. Palace of Versailles, France. Originally, Palace of Versailles was a hunting lodge built by Louis XIII. Later, Louis XIV expanded it into a magnificent palace. In 1682, Louis XIV moved the seat of his court and government to Versailles, making it the official capital of France. This continued until October 1789, when the royal family was forced to return to Paris during the French Revolution. Versailles was used as a summer residence by Napoleon Bonaparte, following his takeover of France. Number 2. Winter Palace, Russia. The Winter Palace in St. Petersburg was the official residence of the Russian imperial family until the Russian Revolution in 1917. It was built in 1732 to reflect the might and power of Imperial Russia. It was from here that Tsars ruled 125 million subjects, that is, almost 1/6 of the earth, by the end of 19th century. Number 3. Peterhof Palace, Russia. The Peterhof Palace was commissioned by Peter the Great, as a direct response to the Palace of Versailles by Louis XIV of France. It has a series of palaces and landscaped gardens, built on the shores of the Gulf of Finland, just outside of St. Petersburg. Nicknamed the Russian Versailles, it was built between 1709 and 1756. The interiors are exquisite, lavish, and pompous. Number 4. Château de Chambord, France. The Château de Chambord, located in France, was built between 1519 and 1547 CE. This was commissioned by King Francis I to function as a hunting lodge where the king and his entourage could pursue the abundant game in the surrounding forest. Number 5. Potala Palace, Tibet. Situated atop Marpuri, Red Mountain, Potala is the highest palace in the world at 12,139 feet above sea level. The 1,300-year-old structure was originally built as a gesture of love, commissioned by Tibetan King Sonsan Gampo for his marriage to Princess Wencheng of the Chinese Tang dynasty. Number 6. Schönbrunn Palace, Vienna. The wife of Emperor Ferdinand II, Eleonore von Gonzaga, had this palace built in 1642 and called the property Schönbrunn for the first time. Mozart made music in the mirrored hall of Schönbrunn Palace as a 6-year-old prodigy. Following the downfall of the Habsburg monarchy in November 1918, the palace became the property Austrian Republic and was preserved as a museum. Number 7. Mysore Palace, India. Mysore Palace was built in the year 1912 for the 24th ruler of the Vodayar dynasty. This magnificent palace is an incredibly breathtaking example of Indo-Saracenic style of architecture. The former royal family continues to live in a portion of the palace. Number 8. Grand Palace, Bangkok. The Grand Palace has been the official residence of the kings of Siam, later known as Thailand, since 1782 up until 1925. Construction of the palace began on May 6, 1782, at the order of King Phuthiatpha Chulalak, the founder of the Chukri dynasty, when he moved the capital city to Bangkok. Number 9. Pena Palace, Portugal. The site of Pena Palace used to be a medieval chapel, until it was ordered by King Manuel I to build a monastery. After it was majorly damaged by the Great Lisbon earthquake, Portugal King Ferdinand II acquired the monastery and its surrounding, and decided to make a gorgeous present to his wife Queen Maria II. In 1838, he initiated the building of the castle to build what we see today as the Grand Pena Palace. Number 10. Frederiksberg Castle, Denmark. Crown Prince Frederick IV had broadened his education by traveling in Europe. He was particularly impressed by the architecture in Italy and, on his return to Denmark, asked his father, Christian V, for permission to build a summer palace. The palace served as the royal family's summer residence until the mid-19th century. Number 11. Alhambra Palace, Spain. The Alhambra was built chiefly between 1238 and 1358, in the reigns of Ibn al-Ahmar, founder of the Narid dynasty, and his successors. The Alhambra is situated in a location of rare natural beauty. Alhambra Palace is built upon a plateau at the base of which runs the Darro River flows through a deep ravine on the north. Number 12. Forbidden Palace, China. The Forbidden Palace was home to Chinese emperors and was the political center of the Chinese government for over 500 years. The Forbidden City is the world's largest imperial palace and was constructed from 1406 to 1420.